Welcome back, my little hard-shelled hamburgers.
New main
So this is the circus, huh? I gotta get used to this.
Oh, looks like one of these guys made it through.
Wait, what?
No!
Go! Hey guys, and welcome to GT Not Live, where it's another day, it's another part of our Amazing Digital Circus analysis. So last time Lee and I were sitting on the couch together, we were picking apart Chapter 2, Episode 2 of Amazing Chapter 2. Everything is a Chapter 2 at this point.
Part 2, Episode 2, 17.
Part 17.
It's like some old school Half-Life. Like
Book 13,
Half-Life 2,
paragraph 4.
Episode 1.
Right? Just spin
Part
the wheel.
3.
The Revengeance. So last time we joined the adventures of Pomni and the crew over in the Amazing Digital Circus land. We discovered that they're really leaning in hard into kind of the clipping out of bounds idea and this structure around, hey, there's definitely a constructed world, but now you're breaking outside of that world and seeing the edges of this reality. We also discovered the developers room. That's kind of where we ended off
the dev
last
room
time.
with the like models of the different NPCs that were in this world. You had the Crocodile Dundee guys, which I just put together. They're crocodiles and they had the Dundee hat. You
really just put that together?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
They had the Great Mighty Pooh.
New film theorist. Good job. Handing off the reins. Getting warmed up. It's fine. But before we kick things off, Lee, you look great.
Thank you. This is the fresh cut grass cardigan from Critical Role. This is a true story. This is a true story.
Yeah.
When we were Tom and I,
Yeah.
though we didn't walk in the Creators in Fashion show. It's awesome stuff. Go see it on Style Theory.
It was on Style Theory.
During the Critical Role section, we were very impressed by the kind of geek chic clothing that they had.
Yeah.
And
Their stuff went hard.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with their, like, I think they had such a good diverse range of individual items that were, like, I mean, that cardigan, there was that amazing blazer, they had that really cool kind of like cloak, that flowing cloak thing with the holographic angel wings and stuff. Very cool stuff.
Like, everyone at the show had awesome stuff, but I do feel like the Critical Role clothing was stuff that I would just actually wear. Thus, this is the fresh cut grass cardigan from their collection, their Exandria collection.
Nice.
It's very comfortable. Yeah. True story, during Creators in Fashion, as they were doing their runway, I was sitting next to Tom, and I saw Tom pull up his phone and open the Critical Role store.
Yeah.
And like look at items, and I was like, "Oh, we're gonna get some stuff, aren't we?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get some stuff." So I ordered this. I ordered this during the fashion show.
Nice, well done.
Yeah, it's very comfortable.
Are you gonna walk next year?
I would love to. That sounds awesome.
Would you?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
It didn't work out this year.
Yeah.
But like, no, 100%.
Yes, awesome. Ashley, are you gonna walk again next year?
Can I?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, 100%, dude.
Oh, you crushed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You ate, and in fact, you left no crumbs.
Not a single one.
In fact, I looked because I'm kind of, I'm kind of anal about that sort of stuff. I was ready to sweep up. I was ready to like scoop up, the crumbs.
The plate was clean.
I didn't want any ants. I didn't want
Not on that runway. It was a nice runway.
It was a very nice runway. I didn't want to gather any ants, so I wanted to make sure that there were no crumbs left on that runway. And indeed, you did eat.
Well, thank you. I was very hungry.
I hope you were satiated on the other end of that runway walk.
Okay. Yeah.
And thus we end that. So thank you all for joining my TED Talk. This is weird. Is the eating and no crumbs thing just a current thing right now? Everyone's been using it a lot, and I'm just wondering, like, it's just, has this crossed into the cultural consciousness?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of current talk about food and consumption.
Okay.
Whether it's eating, devouring, ate that, did not eat.
Did not eat.
Yeah, they're eating well. A fandom is eating well.
Oh, sure, eating
yes,
well, of course.
eating well. No, it's big right now.
We need to contact Santi about this.
Right?
I feel like.
Which fandom? Food theory. Which fandom is eating the most well?
Right? What fandom?
Who is the most fed?
Yeah, and who has left the most crumbs?
Who has left the most crumbs is incredible.
Right? So, anyway, I hope you're eating well. Yes.
Yeah, we're way off topic at this point. But
welcome to GT Not Live.
have you talked about the incredible retirement party that YouTube threw for you?
I have not.
So YouTube threw Matt and Steph this awesome retirement party, like the day after the fashion show.
It's true. It's true. It was incredible. It was a huge honor. So it used to be YouTube would throw really big, like once, maybe twice a year events for like big groups of creators. And since they've gone through their various restructurings, since they've reevaluated budgets, things like that, their budget for that sort of stuff has kind of gone down, at least. That's what people internally have told me. And so instead, what they've opted to do are more smaller, kind of like pocket events that happen in different parts of the world for different groups of creators, different genres, different nationalities, things like that, right? And in the wake of the retirement, they had actually offered me, they're like, hey, we would love to offer you a retirement party as one of these kind of like smaller little get-togethers. We have a budget. You just and I thought there was a catch the entire time. I'm like, no,
what are you doing?
Yeah, but really, what do you want of me? Like, there is no, I get something, and there is no like give back to you.
We hear you're looking for a job now.
Yeah, right. It's like, and so the entire time I'm like, well, yeah, but what's the catch? Like, what do you want back? And they're like, no, we just want to throw you a party. And, basically our goal is to throw events that are good, networking opportunities for creators and people to have like a positive experience with the platform. And so if you make the party that you want, or kind of tell us what you want out of a party, and we'll make sure that it fits in our budget. And it's one of those things that as long as some creators are invited and they're happy about it, that's a win for us. And so, they threw me this incredible retirement party, which was fantastic. I got to see, one of the things I love is being this nexus point, or a person who brings together people from a diverse background. And this was like the ideal of that, right? Where you had like super old school YouTubers, even people who predated YouTube, mixing with like some of the new hot people on the platform right now.
And all the different verticals.
Okay, Ash, calm down, get your mind out of the gutter.
That's not in the gutter.
Hot people, like hot trending people.
Yeah.
Like hot on performance.
Right. No, I understand. I just think the other interpretation is very funny.
Well, hot in all different capacities, Ash.
Yeah, the ugly old people.
You had the people like me, retirees, half past dirt, Cosmo personified, and then you had the other half who are like young and hip and cool and hot, and it's great, awesome. So without any further ado, last we left it off, everyone was kind of falling into the gaps in the programming, down to this kind of neutral space with the blank, no textured area. So let's rejoin Pomni as she's about to fall into the gap. And even before we begin, you called out last time the teapot textures.
Yes.
Or the teapot shape,
right? The model, yeah.
The model, so that way they could test out like how the shading works.
Same thing with that, the reflective.
The reflective thing. I remember there was an episode of Game Theory a couple years in. It was a little bit like mid Game Theory for me, which is a weird thing to say.
It's all peak Game Theory.
I mean, it's all peak. But they're, when you're at the top of, when it's literally a mesa of greatness, a plateau of awesome. But it was, we did an episode on Super Smash Brothers, and there was a mysterious image inside of Super Smash Brothers. I believe we titled it or branded it around like the lost stage of Super Smash Brothers, where hidden in the game files there is a cafe.
Yes.
There's a restaurant. Yes. And we had to search all over to find where this secret restaurant was. And apparently it was one of those things that they would wrap on reflective surfaces to see the lighting and reflective details of things. So I see this and I'm like, oh, it's just like that episode that we did on a game
a lot of old school video games would kind of cheat reflections.
Yes.
By like using an image of like Princess Peach's castle. Mm-hmm. Like, because no one at the time, they thought, no one's gonna look at the like
files and stuff, yeah. And yet here
they were wrong.
Yeah, they were absolutely wrong. And we discovered this file, and it ends up being a restaurant in, I think, like Redmond, California, near like the Nintendo of America headquarters or something like that. But it's a good episode. I'd have to go revisit that one. Okay. Smack. Splotch.
Huh? Where are we? What's all this?
Give me a lot of good quotes to use.
I don't know.
Right? Good cold opens.
Under the map, I think.
So Pomni, even though she has, so this is I think interesting to call out. Even though she is established to not have a memory of who she is in episode 1,
it feels like almost like a Jason Bourne almost who like has the like echo of a memory.
Yes.
Like he knows how to tie all the knots and stuff.
Yep.
Very timely reference to Jason Bourne.
very relevant franchise.
But yeah, like, the idea that like when your memory's wiped and stuff like this, you still remember stuff, but you don't know why or how you remember it.
Yep.
So that we speculated that she was a game dev, right?
Yeah.
And her just having knowledge of, we're under the map.
Yeah.
That totally tracks.
Yeah. Westworld did the same thing where they would wipe the robot's memory every like reset, but they kept the like little whispers of the memory. The fact that this guy's like, I'm confused where we are, but she's like, hey, we're under the map, shows that she has at least some awareness of this
game space,
this world, and it being a gaming space of some context.
Map.
See?
No, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Why aren't you or any of your crew up here?
There you go.
And
I'm not sure. Because we are not NPCs.
NPCs? What are you on about?
Really?
What are you people?
Yeah. What are you?
What am I?
Oh, wow. This is getting existential.
Aww.
Where's Mum?
You have a mom?
Shouldn't she be here with everyone else? I can't even remember her face. Did she ever have a face? Was anything ever real?
Okay, wait, don't...
Oh, wow.
This is dark.
That, I think there must be a way to launch ourselves back up.
Huh. Okay, yeah, so this is really telling. So what I'm assuming is happening here, right, is his mom doesn't exist.
Yeah, it is a thing like programmed into your. This is something actually similar with the simulation hypothesis we just talked about in the Deadpool episode of Film Theory, where like, how can you know you're not a simulation? Oh, well, I have memories. Like, are you sure you have memories, or do you have things that you were programmed to think that you remember?
Yep.
It's very similar to like what's happening here with this guy. It's like, oh well, we have to get the seer back to my mom to help her. Oh, I can't even remember her face.
Right. Yeah.
She's not real.
Yeah. And the fact that she's not there means that she probably didn't exist in the first place, right? And so what we're hearing from these so he's an NPC, right? So what we're hearing from these NPCs is that they're programmed to do their mission, and they have their like backstories and all this stuff, but it actually hasn't been programmed into the game. Like this is the limitations of what he can do. That's fascinating. This is going in some interesting places. I'm very, very intrigued by this.
Right?
I want you to tell me exactly what I am.
Huh. So Pomni knows at least a decent amount.
Yeah.
Right? Like, again, even though she has no memory, she seems to be aware of a decent amount and is not shying away from these questions, or is not confused in the same way that he, as like a computer program, is confused.
Curious they cut away there, and I wonder when they eventually go back.
Right, what?
Like, how much of the end of that conversation are we going to hear?
Right, I love I love it when shows cut away from the important part of conversations, and you're like, oh, okay, and I guess all conversation stopped at that point.
I love when fudge splorches.
That's also a great sound effect, to be honest.
Splorch?
Oh, the splorching of fudge. Nothing makes me happier or hungrier.
What would you say is a splorch? Like a
About to hear it.
Okay. Okay, that's pretty splorchy.
I'd say that was more of like an ooze and a pop, to be honest.
What is a splorch but an ooze and a pop?
That's deep. What is the essence of a splorch? Ash, can you make a splorch?
I'd prefer not to. For recording.
Lee, can you make? Oh, wait, okay.
Whoa.
That's a good splorch.
Thanks.
It's more.
I practiced.
I feel like a splorch might be a little bit deeper.
Yeah, there's like There's an implied thickness
Yeah.
in the liquid that splorches.
Right, the viscosity of
The
a
viscosity
splorch.
of the splorch.
The viscosity of a splorch is much higher. This is another great food theory episode, to be honest. What food splorches and what viscosity does it need to be?
Yeah, what is the most viscous splorch
No.
and the thickest gargle?
Yeah, thickest gargle. I'm still
How
waiting for the
viscous
thick
can you
gargle.
splorch?
Yeah, how viscous can and should you splorch? Make sure you
should.
splorch responsibly, guys.
Is everybody okay?
No.
Oh man, poor Pomni. I hope she's all right.
Poor Pomni.
What is the density of a semi-truck made out of graham cracker insofar as it's able to float on a fudge river?
And isn't it full of syrup? No, I get the other truck.
The
is
other
full
truck's
of
full
syrup.
of, unless this is the tanker, which I don't think it is.
I think it's the other truck.
But that's a food theory. Again, Santi needs to be up here on the
easy.
couch.
Done.
Easy.
We give him so many ideas,
So many ideas.
and he rejects them all.
Every single one. I'm still waiting for how thick can you gargle. Unacceptable.
How about poor us? We're one tanker away from being Augustus Gloop.
So they have Willy Wonka in this universe. Oh, hey!
What's that? Do my eyes deceive me?
It's the fudge guy.
A delicious gift from within the kingdom gates? Don't mind if I do.
Whoa, buddy! We're not food, we're not candy, we're none of that! You don't want to eat us!
Oh, not candy? How am I expected to eat something that's not made of candy?
Real, asking the hard-hitting questions.
Right? I saw this over the weekend on Reddit where it's like, isn't it unfortunate that humans evolved in such a way that we just like are primed to eat all the worst foods for us and love the like awful, fatty, salty foods? And it's like,
Oh, this green thing helps me survive and my digestive system function properly. Or I could eat this processed sugar that will kill me, but tastes good.
oh man, but it tastes good. No, it's that idea that like our like evolution hasn't caught up to where we are right now, where like it used to be sugar, it was super valuable, and it was one of those things that was rare to come by in nature.
Very
in a lot of
calorie
cases.
dense, and it's like, oh, here's a whole day's worth of
Right.
calories that I am going to expend
Yeah.
because I'm running across the plains hunting this mammoth.
Right, exactly. And so like it used to be like, oh my gosh, we got to seek out that and get it
Yeah.
as much as possible. But now it's like, we don't need it. It's everywhere now, but we don't have an off switch, and that's hard.
He always seems to miss the big gloopy monsters.
Who are you anyway?
I am the fudge.
Oh, the food.
I used to live within the kingdom walls, but I was banished by that rotten princess after
Lots
I
of,
ate too many of the delicious
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say lots of the good guys are actually bad, and
Yeah.
the bad guys are actually good. But he got banished because he ate people.
He ate people, yeah.
That's fair.
But also, this is all a made-up story.
True.
Like that's the other side of this,
True.
right? Is because we've seen the fudge down in the dev room.
He's not real.
He's just reciting what he's supposed to recite.
What Cain told him he did in his past.
Exactly.
Has he actually consumed too many delicious town folk?
Probably not. None. I would guess that this man has
A
consumed
goose egg.
0. Nada. Nil.
Yeah. Zilch.
Empty set of townsfolk has been consumed.
Town folk. Oh, they were so delicious. Sometimes I can hear them calling to me.
Oh, God. That just sounds like murder.
Is it really murder? It's delicious?
Yes.
Answer me that.
Yes.
You make a great point.
No, bad point.
Why don't you leave this to me before I start thinking your hair looks like licorice?
Jax!
Oh,
Does kinda
wow,
look like
it
it.
kind of does.
Yeah. Kinger.
Mr.
Awesome.
Fudge, you seem like an upstanding guy with real noble goals.
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah.
If you knew what I did in my free time, oh, you'd be sickened.
As I was saying, I happen to know a way into the kingdom walls. If you'd be willing to help us out in return.
Hey, when did you...
Shut
He
up,
has
licorice hair.
high pickpocket skills.
Oh man.
You
Yep.
must be some kind of master of unlocking.
Oh my God! So,
Wow.
for the deep cut reference,
Ash doesn't know this reference, do you? Ash did not have a visible
Wow.
reaction to this.
you were almost an Ash sandwich. Nothing?
Wow, not they're so
Nothing.
old.
Oh. So there was this video game called Resident Evil.
Yes.
Yeah, and in the original Resident Evil, it was one of those classic Japanese games that got ported over, and the translations back then were very cheap and very not great. So there was one character, I think it was Chris Redfield,
I believe so.
who was like, "Whoa, Jill, you unlocked that door so good. You're like a master of unlocking." No. It was take this key, and you, the master of unlocking, will be able to open the door.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Then there's also the Jill sandwich. Well, whoa, you were almost a Jill sandwich. Yeah, it's real bad. I mean, it's great insofar as it's iconically memeable, but yeah, it's not solid. So, little deep cut reference to Resident Evil.
There was also, I don't know if this was a deep cut reference, but in Skyrim, if you put a bucket on people's heads, they can't see anything you do. So, like, an in-joke in the community is you just put a bucket on an NPC's head and you can just clear out their like shop, and they just did that to Ragatha.
I was going to say they just did that to Ragatha. Which, again, if this is a video game, which everything seems to be pointing to yes, right? If this is indeed a realm of video games, all of these references to other video games feels like intentional things, the Easter eggs that a dev would put 100%. In and be like, oh, hey, we get it, we're in on the joke.
How many, how many people are now going to know Master of Unlocking from this and not Resident Evil?
That is pretty wild. I mean, Ash did not know Master of Unlocking things, and now Ash does, but you thought it came here. We're spreading the good word, Lee.
Of the Resident Evil 90s.
Here.
Oh, yeah, let's just watch it.
Well, you know what? We could explain it, but we have the power of the internet on our side. I could show you whatever I wanted.
Find anything, Jill?
Nothing. What is this all about? I can't figure it out at all.
Beats me, too.
Now it's Wesker's time to disappear. I don't know what's going on.
Well, it can't be helped. Let's search for him separately. I'll check the dining room again.
Okay, I'll try the door on the opposite side.
This mansion is gigantic. We could get into trouble if we get lost.
Voice acting's on point.
We should start from the first floor, okay? And Jill, here's a lockpick. It might be handy if you, the master of unlocking, take it with you.
There it is.
Definitely.
You, the master of unlocking. Makes that's totally the way people talk.
Very natural.
Absolutely. Dialogue, so believable, so realistic.
Oh, Barry!
Barry.
That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
You're right.
You're right.
You're right. That was awesome. Man.
Anyway.
Just fantastic.
From my outdoor prison.
That's me. All we need you to do is help us bring some dirty bandits to justice.
I saw the Reaper wink at me.
Wait, what just happened?
Okay, we're returning to the conversation. And we have learned nothing.
Nothing. The whole thing happened off screen.
You want to try helping out at all? Or are you still
going through an existential crisis?
Hey.
Oh, he's so sad.
You okay?
No.
Oh.
You want to talk about it?
What is there to talk about?
I don't just want to leave you here.
Why not? I don't matter in the slightest. I'm nothing. My life, my memories, my friends. It's all fake.
All right, so it seems like she caught him up a little bit, a decent amount. Like, hey, you are an NPC in a video game, and what exactly that means.
Yeah. So there's these things called video games.
Right? I mean, you're having to start from a very basic level, right? Hey, we are all they don't know what computers are, presumably. Like
there are these boxes that have magic worlds inside of them.
Right? That is a challenging thing to explain. Like, you're taking a lot of steps in that process.
This may seem weird, but I think I know the feeling.
About not mattering in the slightest.
Maybe not the exact feeling, but feeling like you're nothing is kind of normal. I mean, people even feel like that in the world I came from.
So it seems like between episode 1 and episode 2, there has been some catching her up on the fact that she comes from a different world and all this. Like, she knows so much more than she did in the first one.
Yeah. And
there's a big knowledge gap. And I don't know if that's, off screen, the other characters kind of filled her in.
I would want to go, maybe not right now, but this is something I would do later. Like, go back to the beginning of the episode and see, what is the exact language used? Like, how much time has passed?
Yeah.
Was this a conversation they had over the dinner scene at the end of the last episode?
I mean,
is this a couple days later?
I believe it had to have happened. This feels like it's happening in the immediate aftermath, because if you think about it, Ragatha starts this episode being like, hey, about the whole running to the exit
Yeah,
thing,
don't worry about,
which implies that this is one of their first interactions since the first episode, right? Where she abandoned her.
I don't know. So that line that Kinger had where it's like, Pomni always misses the gloopy monsters. I'm like, isn't this just the second time?
That is a good point too. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Right?
But yeah, Ragatha at the beginning was literally like, hey.
1545. We can, 1545.
There she is. Hope you're doing all right. I know yesterday was
Yesterday.
Okay.
So
Badoozy.
So it's been 12 hours max.
About the whole
and don't worry about abandoning me for the exit thing.
It's perfectly understandable what you were going through at the time, and there's no hard feelings.
It sounded like they talked over dinner or after dinners. Like, there was time for them to be able to do that.
Right.
Just interesting.
Right? But it's, Pomni's knowledge has scaled significantly, where she went from episode 1, I have no clue, to I literally come from a different world, which is also implying that everyone is kind of in on that act to some extent.
I think I know the feeling. Well, maybe not the exact feeling, but feeling like you're nothing is kind of normal. I mean, people even feel like that in the world I came from. But you still care about your buddies up there, don't you? I'm sure they still care about you.
What does it matter? What do we have when you people leave? We're just obstacles, created to be defeated and forgotten.
Well, you don't have to be.
So it seems like they're really playing off of this idea, and I think this is one that you see in media happening more and more, right? Which is this idea of where does the line sit between humanity or a conscious being versus an AI program?
Yeah.
Or the other week I was before we joined you guys in Las Vegas, we were at Turtles All the Way Down, and the protagonist of Turtles All the Way Down is what are my thoughts? I'm just composed of a bunch of bacteria, and so it's this weird collective of bacteria and cells and things that make me think that I have thoughts. My thoughts aren't my own, right? And so, and currently one of my retirement, I clearly retired. Currently one of the games that I'm playing as part of my retirement is Nier Automata, which again which I'm so excited about. Don't spoil anything for me because I've stayed very blind to it, but is very clearly showing this what is the line between robots and androids and humans, right? And where do these things cross over, and where do they where do those lines sit? And same thing here, right? If you're an NPC computer program with thoughts and feelings and belief that you have a mom and friends and things like that, what does existence actually mean? Is he not a valid entity? Where does it sit?
Do you have to be human to have humanity, right?
Ooh, that's deep.
Thanks. Thank you.
That's deep.
Thank you.
Deep thoughts on this, man. It's that nice cardigan you're wearing.
Smile a day to you, neighbor.
Oh, all right, moving on.
The circus, the place I'm from, well, I'm originally from somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
But
that keeps that entire thought chain intact.
Has to be my home. Maybe it can be yours too. The people there are interesting, at the very least. Maybe.
Oh my gosh, Pomni is adorable. Animations are
could
great.
Be somebody real there.
This is great.
Why are you trying to change?
Right? This is beautiful.
How does this benefit you at all?
I guess I just don't want you to feel like you're nothing.
Interesting parallel.
Yeah.
Ragatha to her You don't have to treat me like a child. Don't hype me up.
Yeah.
Her to him, why are you trying to cheer me up? I don't want you to feel like you're nothing.
Oh, that's interesting. Good parallel. Yeah.
And I wonder if she realizes it.
Yeah, I could see that. That's a really good call out.
I don't want anybody to feel like that.
But I'm not even a real person. Would I even belong?
I'm sure you wouldn't belong any less than me. And I could use a friend.
I'm sure you wouldn't belong any less than me. That's a very interesting line, and I know that it's leaning in on this idea of like Pomni feels like an outsider, she feels lesser, she's dealing with confidence issues. So like that is the like literal interpretation. There is the like meta interpretation, or like they're seeding out stuff, like where the clues all match up at the end once things are revealed. Is one of them an NPC?
Is Pomni an NPC?
That's one of those lines that if in episode 7 or 8 it's revealed.
That's the reveal. Yeah, you go back and rewatch it and you'd be like, you do the Leo DiCaprio meme. Yeah.
Yep. I'm getting that sense, right? Because a lot of this is like, why aren't you here? Where are you guys? I'm wondering if one of the main crew is one or multiple of the main crew are NPCs of that world, and who it might be. And especially, it's especially interesting if it is Pomni, because maybe the whole experiment here, right, is this idea of, can we make an NPC truly believe that they are human? Like, can you go the whole way?
Interesting. That's very, you know what the Turing test is?
Yes. Yeah. Can it beat the Turing test?
Yeah. The Turing test, for people who don't know, is a classic thought experiment in philosophy where, like, if you are speaking to someone that you cannot see and cannot hear, so it's just like a text chat, if they can convince you that they are a person, they have passed the Turing test.
Yeah.
Are they actually a person, or is it an advanced chat bot? This used to be a lot harder.
Yeah.
Before
it used to be hard.
ChatGPT. This is something I learned about like in 2010.
Yeah. It makes me wonder. Potential
You're
film
a
theory.
strange little character. Suppose
Strange
I
little
could give it a
character.
try.
Yeah.
All I ask is that we don't tell the lads about this.
Yeah.
They're a couple of bright-eyed yobbos. I don't want to drag them down with me.
Yeah, that makes sense. What's your name, by the way?
Gummy Goo.
Wow, that's
Gummy Goo.
just about as dumb as my name.
What do you have in mind in terms
My
of...
name's Gummy Goo.
It's great. It's a great name. Gummy Goo.
Here in the Candy Kingdom.
I love it. I love his voice.
It's out of here.
I don't know.
I love him.
Right?
I would die for
Maybe
him.
some kind of glitch with the truck's collisions.
She understands
I'm not
the
really
game
sure
system like completely.
Yeah, the fact that she knows, like and again, like this is one of those things for any creators out there who are looking to like, how do I tell really compelling stories, or how do I like, what is the secret sauce that's made Amazing Digital Circus so successful? They've followed the rule of storytelling that you have to do to help an audience understand the logical flow, which is Pomni woke up, she glitched into a block, and she's launched out of the block. So that's your first setup, right? You've set up this idea of like people clipping into things and getting launched out of them.
Yep.
They follow it up and they reinforce that idea a second time with the trucks, right? With the trucks hitting the wall and glitching between the level, and one gets launched up and they get launched down, right? So that's two. They've reinforced that idea of like, oh, objects can cross into each other and launch in a direction. And so now it seems like number 3 is the payoff here, where
they're going to like actually intentionally use that as a tool to be able to escape Tron land.
Exactly. And so again, from a storytelling standpoint, I as an audience member, even if I've never heard of no clipping or don't understand this at all or whatever, they have done a really good job of making this accessible to a normal viewer, that, oh, in this world, this is the rule set, and we've shown you how it happens multiple times, so that way, when it becomes important to the story, it's part of it, and I understand what's going on.
All right, I'm just throwing stuff at the wall here. If this doesn't work, we can try something else.
You're the expert here.
I'm really not. But let's see how it goes. I just realized this might be a little violent.
Awesome. That's great.
I love this.
Oh man, are they gonna hold hands?
Oh, I can see the shipping from here.
Yeah, right. Oh.
They've set sail.
That's awesome. So many tea kettles. Teapots, technically. Kettles, the ones that heat up. These are more of the steeping mechanisms, let's be honest.
Gotta say, this is a lot more anticlimactic than I was hoping it'd be.
What were you hoping for?
You know, like one big final battle, bloodshed, death, chaos, whatever.
Are you sure they disappeared? It wasn't that they fell off or something?
I can't say for sure, but yes, definitely.
It's not like the Boston Bandits with a clown. Very unusual.
Well, that's concerning.
Well, if worst comes to worst, we could always ask Kane to find her.
I'm more worried she's having another horrible experience. She still seems really upset about what happened yesterday.
So yesterday there
I
was...
don't think she really likes me that much.
It's a lot for anybody to go through. Don't take it too personally.
Interesting that that's what she's worried about.
Right, that she doesn't like me? It is an odd thing to call out. Right?
Yeah, in this world where you're in danger of turning into like a Cthulhu glitch monster.
Yeah.
And, well, but she might not like me. It's an interesting... It's interesting what the people's priorities are. Like, Jax is very much like, hey, I just want the violence, this is all game, whatever. Yeah. And Ragatha's like building the concerned about the people and what they think about her.
Which is one of the reasons why I'm wondering, like, is that her role in this? So, like, is Jax the instigator and is the entity that is like kicking off adventures, or like he's the agent of chaos, right? He is the one who is causing the situations to happen and be exciting for the player. I wonder if there's like game design terminology around this sort of stuff, right? Whereas Ragatha is is programmed into the game, or is her role in this whole world is as best friend, advisor, mentor, maybe.
The guy in the chair.
Yeah, the guy in the chair, for lack of a better word. 100%. I'm wondering if we look into game design, if we can track kind of what the stereotypes or what these roles would fit into. Because it does seem like they are fitting into like one's relationship, one's action / adventure.
Yeah, one of them is one of them the Skull Kid and one of them's the Navi.
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly.
For you to adjust.
Oh, yeah.
Also, that's
Too
important.
Personally, I remember how long it took for you to adjust.
Oh, yeah.
We knew Kinger was there
surprised you
first.
remember
Right.
that.
Remember what?
Do you guys have a second truck that flies?
Yeah. Wait, no, we don't. No, not at all.
Rip.
Those poor Jawbreakers. Huh. She pukes some black goo.
She did that in the first episode too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
When she is being pulled around. Oh. We're not so different, you and I.
Right?
All this stuff.
Pomni, are you okay? Well, what happened?
Yeah, I'm fine. I made a new friend.
Boss, where have you been? We got fudged.
You don't want to know. Good to see you, lads.
Oh, Gummy Goo. Love this guy.
Are there 2 bad guy trucks?
This one's full of syrup too.
Oh, yeah. Suppose it is.
Well, you don't suppose...
That's funny. So, yeah, they used a different model, but it's like, again, it's like
it's like an identical copy.
It's an identical copy. That's funny.
Suppose my mates here could take this one back to the village, could they?
I guess, since there's 2 of them,
Huh.
there'd be no real harm.
Breaking the game.
I'm so unbelievably disappointed right now.
Well, maybe there'll be blood, death, and violence in the next adventure.
Ha 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 ha, how wholesome.
Uh-oh, yeah. This is Gummy Goo. He's gonna come back to the circus with us.
Oh, is that allowed?
His reality was kind of completely shattered. I feel like...
Look at the friends in the background.
Right? Friends in the background are great. I also love Gummy Goo's subtle nod of like, yeah, my reality was shattered. Yeah. Yeah, I can relate to this.
the least I could offer him, opposed to just leaving him behind.
Hey, that's good of you, Pomni.
Let's take this dumb truck to the dumb kingdom, I guess.
thanks to you brave knights, our kingdom will once again thrive. I'm sure it was no easy task.
You have no idea.
Farewell, brave knights. Have fun executing that bandit fella.
Yes, that is what we're doing.
Jeez.
Oh, hey, maybe I didn't leave the gate unlocked for nothing after all.
What? I thought he was dead. You still did that?
Okay, wait. You did what now?
Well, love to help you again sometime. Bye!
Huh. So again, yeah, he is, I mean, he's just a jerk, one, and he could just be like a trickster, but there is also a world where he, like, his intention is to cause issues in the program in some way, or to create scenarios that are exciting and, like, gamified.
Interesting that they immediately left, though.
That is true, yeah.
But I still think you're right. Like, I bet he would have loved to have been there for that, like to begin with.
Yeah.
But, yeah, interesting.
Welcome back, my little hard-shelled hamburgers.
New main
So this is the circus, huh? I gotta get used to this.
Oh, looks like one of these guys made it through.
Wait, what?
No! Gummy Goo! No! No!
Wait, what?
I know you guys love your NPCs, but if I start losing track of who's a human and who's an NPC, who knows what could happen?
Okay, pause it real quick.
Yeah, no, of course. That I feel like that.
I am like Jax right now, where I am so unbelievably disappointed.
Yeah.
I loved Gummy Goo.
Gummy Goo was an all-star. He better come back. If not...
He had a plush.
He does have a plush.
He had a plush. I went and looked at the plushes, and I was like, oh, he has a plush.
He does have a plush. That's right, yeah.
I want a Gummy Goo plush. I'm probably going to go buy a Gummy Goo plush.
You should. Show your support to Gummy Goo, man. Unacceptable.
Maybe they'll bring him back.
Unacceptable. Oh, that's so sad.
But yeah, okay. I think you were spot on earlier with your analysis about, like, oh, hey, there's a lot of talk about, like, we're not so different, you and I.
Yeah.
Why do you even care?
Right.
Is one of the group an NPC in a similar way?
Yeah.
That was, like, the biggest
I was going to say
hint possible, where he's like, oh, if I lose track, who knows what could happen?
Right.
So definitely one of them is.
I was going to say, yeah, it seems like he's speaking from experience in some way, or like he's speaking from this, like, whoops, this happened at one point, and I need to make sure that this doesn't happen again, kind of thing. So yeah, I'm wondering if that's truly the case. It feels like a very big hint. Oh no, Pomni's gone crazy again.
Well, I'm gonna go drink water. It's been a while since I've done that.
Good. Stay hydrated.
I was about to say.
Jeez,
Very important.
Never leave. I'm really sorry about that, Pomni. At least you tried. You know, he might be back in a future adventure.
Huh.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
Assuming he sells enough plushies, that is. Assuming that you've all felt strong enough about Gummy Goo's emotional journey to want him back.
The number of fan fictions written will determine.
Yeah. Glitch is tracking that behind the scenes.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, good
honestly,
for them, as they should.
So, okay.
Yeah.
I completely lost what I was going to say. So.
Cool.
Move on.
Awesome. I think
Kane likes to reuse NPCs. That is an important.
Oh, I know Kane likes to that is interesting. The thing I was going to call out was the fact that this is now the second episode in a row where Pomni has had like some sort of emotional break. Or
like like a crazy maniacal laughter.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah. And so I'm wondering, again, if she's an NPC, or if, even if she's just a normal person, like, it feels like these psychological breaks are doing something that is distancing her from the program, or it's gonna come to a climax, right, where she's gonna rebel at some point.
Kane sometimes likes to reuse NPCs.
Again, awkward pause.
Ready. Hey, you at least want to join us for Kaufmo's funeral? We like to have a little funeral service to remember the people who abstract. This one just got pushed
that was an
around
interesting
a bit
reaction
with your
from
arrival
Jax.
and everything.
Right?
Or
Abstract.
it's like upset
We like to have
about
a
it.
little funeral
Interesting.
service to remember the people who abstract.
Why? Huh.
This one just got pushed around a bit with your arrival and everything.
It's the least we can do to honor their memory.
Huh. Right? Why would Jax react that way? Also, per the last episode, this is clearly my funeral, so thanks a lot.
I remember him well.
Yeah, as you should. Lived fast, died hard. Died the way he lived.
Bruce Willis.
Right. Died the way he lived. 2 fish.
Now, something I just realized.
A fork. What was it? 2 fish?
A carrot.
A carrot.
And a
2
fork.
fish, a carrot, and a fork.
Makes my kawaii taste buds go doki doki.
Doki doki.
And I just realized.
No.
They have, great. They haven't done anything with her hand that glitched.
Well, that was the start, right? Was
the dream
that was the dream sequence that her hand is still glitching. But I think it's weird that they have not shown what it looks like now out of a dream sequence.
I do know there were other interpretations other than our. Like, the way I interpreted the end of the last episode was that Ragatha got fixed.
Yeah.
But Pomni did not.
It does not seem like she got fixed at the end.
That was my interpretation. I did see other ones that were like, oh, he just fixed all of them.
Yeah.
Which I obviously don't agree with.
Yeah.
And I think makes for a less interesting setup.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that, hey, we still have another minute and a half. But they didn't do anything with it.
No, they haven't
in this
done
episode
anything.
other than the dream.
I was wondering if they would pay it off.
Poor Kaufmo. We didn't even get a single Jack Black line.
No, right?
Oh, man.
Still waiting for that flashback.
I always think I'm prepared for these things, but then you set up the picture and, well, I'm already breaking.
Breaking.
Right. Right? Breaking, just like breaking down emotionally, breaking as a computer program, or breaking like the fourth wall? Like I'm breaking character.
Or a little of A, B, and C.
I mean, it could be all of those, right? Because like breaking is usually like, haha, we're in a comedy show and we're supposed to be like a straight character, but look at me laughing.
Yeah, at SNL, I'm laughing because I can't.
Yeah, exactly. Ha 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 ha! I'm in on the joke too. And so I'm wondering, if that's. And we saw earlier in the first half of this episode with Jax breaking the fourth wall to us.
looking directly at the camera, yeah.
And so I'm wondering, is Ragatha breaking character?
I need to go back and rewatch it. I think Jax is the only one who is like.
I think so.
Kane has as well.
Yes, Kane, right? But that's more expected, I guess.
Interesting that would connect them, though.
Yeah.
Like, anyway.
No, I think that's a good call out. Still haven't done much with Zubul.
Interesting that she was just straight up like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, right?
Aw.
Is that Gummy Goo?
That was all of the different hands of like these characters, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, it's Ragatha, Zubul, and Gangle.
Gangle.
No Kinger. Interesting. Well, you can kind of see his hand. Never mind. He doesn't have an arm.
Oh, yeah, there's Kinger. Notice that Jax is absent.
I think he's an antagonist.
Or an antagonist. One of the two. Yeah, no, I think that's definitely setting him up. Also, Kane's not there, which you wouldn't necessarily expect, but of the characters.
And no Bubble.
No Bubble either. Chop the hand.
This is a very nice arrangement of this theme.
Right.
Given how many times I've heard it because it's a meme now.
Yeah. Right, everywhere.
And yeah, that was nice.
That was a good episode.
Is that it? What are we getting?
You got the plushies.
Plushies!
Yeah, plushies.
Oh, they knew that people are gonna love Gummy Goo.
Oh, Gummy Goo, man. How could you not love Gummy Goo?
That was a really good episode.
That was a great episode.
Like, we mentioned last time about like how difficult it has, how much pressure you have to be under to like live up to what probably should have been the YouTube video of the year last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like in their sophomore effort, I think that they did as good as you possibly could have, catching that lightning in a bottle a second time. That was a very good episode.
No, it was a very good follow. Because at a certain point, right, you have to enter into a state of normalcy, right? Like you have episode 1 or you have a pilot or a viral video that takes off and it's great. Yep. But at a certain point you have to set, like not every episode can do that, and you have to settle into like, this is the rhythm of the show. This is what it's going to be. Yep. And yeah, there might be like fluctuations, but for the sake of like telling a story or making a brand or whatever. It has to kind of exist here. And yeah, I thought this was a really good follow-up. The ultimate in history of like the sophomore installment, and you're like, how are they going to follow it up? Size Gangnam Style. I remember the internet was so excited to see what his follow-up to Gangnam Style was going to be.
I don't even remember what it was.
Exactly.
And that's the point.
No, it was Gentleman, which I don't know if you ever heard of. Nope. Size Gentleman. It is. You can see that it very clearly is trying to like follow, like that he was trying to capture lightning in a bottle again. There's like the simple goofy dance. There's, the easy to sing along bits. It's kind of lol random in certain places. But just no, didn't hit the same way. Ash, do you have feelings about Size Gentleman?
It takes me back.
It does.
It was a simpler time.
It was a simpler time. I mean, that was back when, what was it? Gangnam Style was the first video to hit 1 billion views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Times have changed.
Everyone was so excited about that. And then everyone's like, oh, all right, moving on. Don't know what we expected. No, but here, and that's to say, that was a very difficult one to follow up, and maybe was underwhelming. This is great. I think that they hit exactly what they needed to do. There is a lot of really interesting stuff for us to discuss, and for the team to put together.
Yeah. I think that they've proven that not only can they continue to make interesting characters, they instantly made a character that we instantly attached to again.
Yes.
Which, very difficult.
Yes.
Their character design still on point.
Yep.
And I'm super excited to see where this goes.
Yeah. I'm also curious to see how the characters continue to evolve, because this one, we spent a lot of time with Pomni and Gummy Goo as a character who is gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Presumably.
And even if they come back, it probably won't be the same Gummy Goo.
Yep, exactly. So I'm really, really curious about what it kind of goes to from here. So I guess we got 6 months to wait.
Maybe less.
Or maybe more. Here's the thing. I'm in no rush. I'm eager to see what the next thing is, but also take your time. That's always what it is. Rushed game.
Yeah. Done is better than perfect, but good is better than bad.
Indeed. That's very deep. Yes, Ash?
As the time that we are filming this, there are presently about 50 fanfictions featuring Gummy Goo on the internet between Archive of Our Own and Wattpad.com.
Really? Only 50?
It has been 2 days.
Yeah, we're hitting this pretty early.
We are hitting this early. However, at the same time, there's almost 50 million views. So that's only 1 in a million.
Here's what I'll say. I think that structurally, the Amazing Digital Circus is so good that it is almost hard to write fanfiction about because it feels so complete in its own way.
Ooh, that's deep.
Where engaging with this media is watching and discussing it.
Yeah.
Where instead of wanting to build more on top of it, I think people are just eager to see more.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
How many fanfictions have Jax?
Let's see.
Oh.
Currently, at least on AO3, 1,400.
It's 4 digits. I think people like the bad boy.
They always love a bad boy. They think they can fix him.
I can fix him. Jack's fanfiction. Jack's ex-reader.
Yeah, you may be broken.
Yeah.
But I'm a coder. So
oh man, it's a beautiful
let's
thing.
Fix this.
A computer scientist falls in love with Jax. That's crazy.
Done. Yo, I just figured out your plot.
Well done.
There you go.
Film pitches.
But hey.
That's just a pitch.
A mediocre pitch.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for funding.
And speaking of, thank you for watching along with us today. Thank you for funding us through your view, because that's ultimately at the end of the day what you do. You empower us to do what we do by just viewing us. So thank you. And, might not have 50 million views to show for it after 2 days, but it's quality over quantity. That's what I like to think.
Absolutely.
The quantity is also sometimes nice. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, remember, this one, it wasn't a video, or it was a video.
It wasn't a live stream.
It wasn't.
But it was a video.
A video for you.
A video for you.
And you. And you.
And me.
And you.
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 And you. And especially you. See ya.